first came for a trial right at the end of under-7s basically, and then I got signed just before under-8s.
So how was that kind of experience like? Junior academy, foundation phase, you've been for the whole thing. What's that been?
I think it's probably the best thing to go for everything. Like, you see different parts of football, you see different players. Like, it's probably the best thing to just go through it, and like you've got something back to look out on and see like your progress through the years.
Someone mentioned to me that you were always or are always one of the fittest players coming into pre-season.
Yeah.
And like, you don't have to be humble about it, but yeah. So I'm just wondering, like, where does that mentality come from?
I say it's just my dad, really. From a young age, he was getting me into sports anyway. But whenever I'm off, I try to do as much with him at his gym as much as possible. And you know, I feel like that's what gives you the boost at the start. If you're in front of everyone else, then you probably get noticed more. And then if you're in front, then you don't need to catch up. I think back then, when we used to go to tournaments, there was always a lot of older people than us. And obviously, I'm not the tallest, but yeah, I remember obviously because most of the time back in the youth, when I was in the academy, I was captain. And obviously, I'm sure this guy was their striker or something like that. And obviously, he was the captain, and he was massive, and you can see my face.
Boy.
I'm just like looking at him like, you're not my age. It happened all the way through academy really. When I was 14, I was playing 15 sometimes when I was 15, 16 and stuff like that. And I think the exposure to older people when you're younger, it just makes you play better really, because you have to play quicker. So then if you can play quicker all the time, and you don't have to think about, oh, he's older than me or he's bigger than me, then it just flows better and it's just like it's in you. So I think playing much older people and stronger people, it can only do good for you really. And I think that's going to help a lot, since obviously there will be bigger people than me throughout my career anyway, so I think it's going to help right until the end of my career.
So do you have any advice for one, let's say for an under-9 now, for example, who's like the smallest in his age group and like kind of finding it a bit difficult?
I'd say it doesn't matter at all really. Like, I've been the smallest in my age group since under 8s, under 9s anyway. And obviously you think it means something when you're younger. I think as you get older, you wish you were maybe like, oh yeah, I wish I was a bit taller or a bit stronger. But I think it's gonna help you more than it hinders you really. And especially for when you get into your career, it can only do the best for you. And you can't let that be a factor to why you don't play with confidence or something like that, because that can't be a reason.
I'm going to show you a little video that Gemma lovingly helped me to find. And I want you to watch it and just kind of comment on it and just kind of react to it, if that's okay.
Yeah. So this was like the gym where I was playing football first,
Okay.
like just kicking the ball around there.
Yeah.
When there was just a ball in there with my dad. But obviously, most of the time I was there, I was in the ring, like just messing about with him. I think it was just like part of me really, and especially being in, I think pretty much while I was 2, 3, I was in the gym, because that's where my dad was all day. He used to teach there, so I was just always there. So I think at some point I would have had to go and do something, and then I guess that's just propelled like a sporting athleticism and stuff like that in me. Throughout my whole time here, I've had like really good relationship with all staff and coaches like that, and I think it's always been like they've been able to help me, and I've just like taken it all on board and stuff. So I think there's never been anything that's happened where like I felt like I wasn't able to go and tell someone something or something like that. I've always had like a family around me.
And as a player, how important is that to be able to have those voices, even away from what happens on the pitch?
So I think it's very important, because everything off the pitch is sorted and you can just focus on the pitch. And if you don't have that, then it can leak onto the pitch if you don't have the support behind you.
Who has kind of helped you settle in the most?
Phil sits next to me in the changing room, and obviously we talk all the time, so I think being able to talk with someone who's in the first team regularly, it just helps you a lot. I think Calvin Phillips has been, obviously because he was new when I joined as well, so it's like we're both kind of new into it.
Really nice guy.
So yeah, he's a top guy, and he's helped me a lot. And then even obviously the main person that I need to be getting information off is really Kyle Walker, and like even little bits on the pitch where he'll just tell me like, oh, time, or you've got space or something like that, like little things like that just go a long way. Every session is trained like it's the last session. It's like the intensity is so high, and no matter if you do well or do bad, as long as you're giving your all, I'd say that's the most you can do. And I think the manager likes players that do just run and work hard for the team anyway, and then the football will come after anyway. But I think you have to have the mental capacity to be able to just, even when it's going bad or going well, you have to still be able to run and do the basics, really.
I wanted to ask you, on the way here, you were talking about the tour in America, and I was one of the people that kind of stayed up watching that game.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had Josh, and I was really hoping you guys would get on. And like when I saw that moment, you know what I'm on about that moment.
Bayern Munich.
On into the path of Lewis into the penalty area. Brilliant from Rico Lewis, and he hit the inside of the post.
How did that feel for you, even going away alone? Like, how did that feel?
It was the whole thing was amazing, really. Just even I said to my mum and dad, even if I didn't play, I wasn't bothered. Just to be in that environment with them for more than like 2 weeks with them. It's just amazing. And then even to be able to play was it was amazing. Yeah, it was surreal.
There was a moment before you came onto the pitch that Pep was giving a message. What was he saying to you at that moment?
He was just telling me to enjoy it, really. He was just saying enjoy it. Because obviously I was coming on the right and he was on touch, and he said, I'll guide you if you need any help. Just enjoy it though, just play your game, really. And I feel like that just settled nerves and stuff like that, and then be able to play with confidence.
You're part of the structure now when it comes to the first team.
Yeah.
What would you say is your goal for the rest of the season?
To stay there, getting more appearances, more chances to play in different competitions and stuff like that. I definitely say to be able to play in the Champions League. I hope I can do that before I'm 18, but it will be tight.
So City going to bring on Rico Lewis to give him a taste of Champions League action. He's never before played in the Champions League, so this is a proud night for him and his family. 17 years old, a couple of Premier League substitute appearances. Now he has the opportunity at right back. He allows Joao Cancelo to take a little breather. And it's just a reminder, Sean, that if you're a young player with talent, you still get your opportunity in this City squad.
We need everybody involved, So Rico plays, 70 years old, and Rico showed me today again, we can rely on him perfectly, even we have just 70 years old.
He's likely going to play really well. Looks like the occasion doesn't really bother him. Like, what are his peers doing right now? This is their third day back at school. He's playing in a Champions League night midweek for Man City against Seville. It's special, it's spectacular, and he's an inspiration to all those who are behind him.
A particularly special night for Rico Lewis. The 17-year-old EDS right-back makes his first ever start for the club. For a local boy who's been with the club throughout all the academy age groups, this will be an unforgettable occasion. Now City have the chance. Rico Lewis in the area and scores! It is a dream night for Rico Lewis. Well, I think as he went to bed last night, he'll have dreamt of scoring a goal on his first ever start for the first team. And you know what? He's done exactly that. And it is City 1, Sevilla 1, and that is the source of dreams.
I mean, what a start to your Champions League career, and obviously your career in the first team. Like, what a night for him. Like, I mean, he must be so proud.